So the 2024 Dungeon Master's Guide has brought in a new mechanic that has, for the most part, been very welcomed. A lot of people have loved the idea of it. And I mean, to be fair, who doesn't love the idea of a town building farm simulator, right? I mean, that's what it is. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be as beloved as it is right now once the final core book comes out next month. And the reason for that is, well, I mean, history speaks for itself. Look at the most popular MMORPG out there, World of Warcraft. In Warlords of Draenor, the most hated expansion, they had a camp building thing that was very similar to Bastions. Instead of it being one building, it was an entire encampment, but it was Bastions. It was. So I hope that it doesn't have that same lack of success. Or maybe it won't because it's a TTRPG as opposed to an MMORPG, but only time will tell. But let's talk about Bastions for a little bit. First of all, you got to build the Bastion. You get it at level 5, assuming your Dungeon Master wants to include Bastions, which for a while most of us are going to, just to see how it works, right? You start off with 2 basic facilities. They are, from what I gather from reading the book, they start off with cramped. Each room is cramped, which is 4 spaces. You can pay more to make them bigger. You can also add basic facilities to it. You can do that anytime as long as you've got the gold and the time. I mean, for a 4-space room, it's going to cost you 500 gold and 20 days to build. That's a lot of gold for a level 5 for a 4-square room. Okay, that's a 4. That's, what is that? Yeah, if I'm reading this correctly, because 4 squares can be kind of ambiguous. It could be 4 square by 4 square, or it's 2 square by 2 square, which would be a total of 4 squares. I'm pretty sure it's the 2 by 2. 500 gold for 2 by 2, that's not a lot, right? Then there's the roomy size, which is 1,000 gold for 16 squares, which be 8 by 8. And it's a little bit better. I think 1,000 is a bit expensive, but it's going to take 45 days to build. That's fine if you've got a long off adventure, you're going to leave your bastion for a while, cool, whatever. But if you want to make it vast, it's going to cost you 3,000 gold. That is a tall order, especially since a lot of people are going to be wanting to spend their gold on item creation, especially magic item creation. So it seems like a sink pit for money, right? You're going to get 36 squares. So that's the biggest. It's okay, fine, whatever. It's going to take 125 days. That's almost half a year, right? That's a long time for just some storage space on a basic facility, right? But then you can get to move on to special facilities. Now, special facilities have a variety of prerequisites, going anywhere from level to requiring the ability to use an arcane focus as a spellcasting focus, stuff like that. Even some expertises in skills. It's weird, it's janky, but most of them make sense. I can get behind it to an extent. And almost all of them, actually I take that back, all of them start with at least 1 hireling, which is cool, but you're going to need more hirelings. 1 hireling per special facility just isn't going to get the job done. If you're paying upwards of 3,000 gold for a room, you want to get the most out of it. And the way to do that is by hiring more hirelings, which is going to be a pain, let's be real. So we're just sinking more and more money into this bastion. Fine, whatever. And they all come in various sizes. I do believe you can upgrade the size, but you have to start off with whatever size it starts on. Some of them start off as cramped, some roomy, and very, very few start off as vast. And those are going to be the ones that require you to be level 17. So not a whole lot of people are going to be making it to that. Then we get out into hirelings, which is, I mean, a necessity. Like I said before, if you're going to be spending upwards of 3,000 gold on a room, on a special facility, you're going to want to make the most out of it. You're going to want to use the orders, whether it's getting materials to craft with, whether it's hiring more, militia members, we'll call them, because that is a function of the Bastion. You can have like a little NPC army for broad battles. I don't know a whole lot of dungeon masters that are going to be okay with like broad battles like that, but I've done them a few times. They're wonky. I hate them, but I'm not opposed to doing them if all of the players want them. So maybe we'll see some use on that. Maybe we won't. But you need hirelings to fill special orders. That's their whole shtick, is to fill the special orders. So you're going to be spending more money. This is just going to be a constant sinkhole for your party's gold. And I don't see a whole lot of people wanting to spend that much gold for something that ultimately doesn't really affect them as a whole. This really does just feel like, a farm simulator. It's Clash of Clans without the clashing of the clans. You're building up your town, or in this case, your bastion. But for what? For what? I mean, yeah, you can collect materials, but that's going to cost you money. It might be cheaper to go to a general store in the town and see if they've got the materials you need and buy them there. So a lot of these are not great. And a huge portion of the special facilities, their whole thing is research. So you're just researching things, which cool, I guess. From an RP standpoint, that's great. You're researching the enemy. So in a combat, you have a higher chance of knowing the weaknesses of a monster, or whatever you've been researching. Fine, whatever. But it's not going to help the party as a whole throughout the adventure. So I don't personally think that the players are going to be loving this. I think it's going to be a difficult thing for the DMs to try and keep track of, because you're going to have to keep track of it. I've never met a player that would correctly keep track of anything like this outside of gameplay. So the DM's going to be expected to keep track of all of this. So you're going to be expected to keep track of more and more things on top of your own ever-growing, ever-evolving adventure. It seems fun on the surface. It does. But as far as I can tell, it's just a farm simulator. It's just a town building simulator. That's all it is. And that's neat, but I don't see it being as well received 4 months from now as it was when the Dungeon Master's Guide came out several months ago. I feel like this is just going to be another thing for the veteran players that already hate on anything that's not 3.5 to complain about. And that's unfortunate, because they already refuse to get out of their ways. And this is going to just help them solidify themselves deep in their ways. But we can always dream of what could have and should have been. Until then, let me know what you think. Do you think the Bastion's a good idea, or do you think it's just another town simulator knockoff? Let's have a conversation in the comments below. And, well, as always, thanks for watching.